This story comes from the pages of Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood, issue number 4. Please support the official release. The story opens as we see a woman standing atop a mountain, looking over an army of zombified people, dinosaurs, and apes alike. This was the Savage Land, and it too had been overtaken by the Marvel Zombies virus. This woman we discover was Shanna the She-Devil, wife of the mighty Ka-Zar, and she was horrified and saddened at what had become of her once great home. We discover that on this Earth the zombie virus had made its way here after an infected Quicksilver used his powers to spread things like wildfire, just as he did in the original zombie dimension on Earth 2149. Even the likes of Ka-Zar soon found himself infected after dealing with a zombified raptor who threatened the life of his wife. The woman believed the spread could be stopped if they amputated the infected part of Ka-Zar's leg. However, her husband told her that it was too late. The virus's reach was too quick, and he could already feel it changing him. With the remaining humanity he had left, Ka-Zar told Shanna to take his tiger Zebu with her so she could care for their son Matthew and fight to protect what was left of their world. Refusing to leave the love of her life behind, Ka-Zar made her promise that she would leave, for he could not bear the thought of ever bringing harm upon her. As the woman reluctantly fled to safety, we see the wounded Ka-Zar rest along a tree, ready to end himself, where Zebu rested in his master's lap, refusing to give up on him no matter what happened. Before he could even process his next thought, the warrior felt the disease fully overtake him, where he then tore into Zebu's neck, infecting him as well. The undead Ka-Zar and Zebu would then brutalize the rest of the Savage Land, viciously attacking and infecting whoever was left. Shanna would later track the pair down, where she prepared her spear. She knew she would have to kill both her husband and Zebu, for they were mentally and spiritually linked. If one died, the other would have to as well. Having a clear shot at them, Shanna hesitated, for she could not bring herself to end them. In the very next panel, the princess was then attacked by a zombie pterodactyl, where she then told the creature that it picked the wrong day to mess with her, where she then tossed her weapon directly through it, sending it to the ground dead. The war would only get worse, where Shanna's surviving soldiers would remark that the undead had gotten through to their fortress, where the woman sprang to action, as this is where her son Matthew was being held. Shanna's aerial troopers would then take to the skies, proclaiming death to the dead, where they would combat the flying infected along with the massive zombie T-Rexes. Man, from venom horses to zombie T-Rexes, Marvel is certainly blessing us with obscure and awesome animal monsters lately. At the castle gates, we would see the zombie Ka-Zar and Zebu make their way to the young Matthew, who was rather confused at the sight of his father, whom he believed to be dead. Literally marking dudes left and right in a full sprint towards her child, Mama Bear Shanna made it just in time, where she wrestled down Zebu and pleaded with him and Ka-Zar to stop. Telling the boy to get behind her, Shanna instantly felt Ka-Zar grab at her shoulder, but luckily did not break her powerful skin. Shoving her former lover aside, Shanna then drove her spear into both man and beast, sending them to the ground. Knowing what needed to be done next, Shanna grabbed a knife, where she approached the badly wounded Ka-Zar and Zebu. With tears in her eyes, she apologized to her love, and with one final strike, killed the both of them, sending a puddle of crimson to splash upon the floor. Looking over the corpse of her husband, Shanna knew this was not the time to mourn, where she called out to Matthew, saying they needed to get somewhere safe. However, in the final panel, we would see that despite her noble efforts, Shanna had failed in her promise to keep Matthew safe, for we see in the commotion, he too had managed to get infected by his father, where he closed in to feast upon his unsuspecting mother.